listening to the Daily Yogi podcast. Every weekday, I'll share timeless yogi wisdom in bite-sized relatable lessons you can apply immediately to help you expand your perspective on life. I'm about to be a dad, and every time I ask other dads about it, a strange common denominator stands out. Most of what they say is negative. Just wait, they tell me. You won't sleep. You won't have time. Say goodbye to this. Say goodbye to that. It's kind of annoying. I don't think it comes from a bad place. I'm sure they love their kids. I think their minds, left to themselves, default to the hard rather than the meaningful. And I find myself wanting to say, just tell me something good, the positive stuff. I'm not naive. I know it's going to be hard. I didn't stumble into this blindly. I've watched other people go through it. I understand that there will be less sleep, more responsibility, and that my time will no longer be my own in the same way. I know there will be rough moments. I accept all of that. What I don't understand is why difficulty has to be the headline. The yogi teaches that the untrained mind instinctively leans toward anticipation of loss rather than expansion, rehearsing fatigue before it ever arrives. What people are often describing is not necessarily parenthood itself, it's the relationship to effort. Difficulty, when viewed through fear, becomes complaint. When viewed through purpose, it becomes training, formation. What comes to my mind the most is a different question entirely. Why did this soul choose us as parents? According to the yogi philosophy, no soul enters life by accident. Deep relationships, especially between parent and child, arise from karmic affinity and shared growth. In other words, souls are drawn to each other because they have something to learn together, something to teach one another. The bond existed before biology made it visible. So I don't think of this as losing sleep. I think of it as exchanging one form of energy for another. I don't see it as giving up time. I see it as redirecting consciousness from self-maintenance toward creation. My attention shapes my experience. What I dwell upon, I magnify. I don't need to be warned that it will be hard. I know that already. What I am interested in is who this experience will shape me into and what this new life might teach me along the way. Before we wrap up today, I want to share a quick update. This Friday, January 16, will be the final episode of the Daily Yogi podcast. For now, it will also be my 750th episode, which feels like the right place to pause. The podcast has been an incredible experiment, and I'm grateful for everyone who has listened along. At the same time, this season of life is calling me to simplify. I want to focus fully on the writing, on the newsletter, which is where this work has always begun, and on my growing family, especially my new son. I don't know what audio will look like in the future. Maybe it comes back in a different form, maybe it doesn't. I'm leaving that open. What I do know is that Daily Yogi continues every weekday through the newsletter, Monday to Friday, just like always. You can find the link in the description or just type in your web browser dailyyogi.co. Thank you for following along and listening every weekday since March 2023. Truly, your presence, your messages, and your support have meant more to me than I can put into words. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to share my thoughts and for the time you've given me and for walking this path with me day after day. I hope to see you in the newsletter, dailyyogi.co. That's DAILYYOGI.co. If this episode gave you something to think about, please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening. On Apple Podcasts, go to the show homepage, scroll down to the rating sections, then tap Write Review. On Spotify, go to the show homepage, tap the three dots, select Rate Show, and choose your stars. Reviews signal to the algorithm that this podcast is worth promoting and help new listeners discover the show. Thank you. Your support means a lot and goes a long way. And as always, take this reflection into the silence, and I'll see you next time.